For years, many diabetes implants have failed for one very simple reason, and that is that the cells slowly died. Now, Sernova believes they finally have a way to keep them living long enough to matter. Let's find out together what this is all about.
This type 1 diabetes implant already worked. Now it's evolving. For years, one major problem has kept destroying type 1 diabetes implant therapies. The insulin-producing cells kept dying. Some devices blocked oxygen, some triggered inflammation, and some couldn't keep the cells alive long enough to matter. Because for people living with type 1 diabetes, the goal has always been simple: replace the lost insulin-producing cells and keep them working. Now, one company may finally be getting closer to solving that problem. Because Sernova has already helped multiple patients achieve insulin independence using implanted cell pouches. And now the company is preparing for its next major step, combining stem cell-derived islets with a newer immune protection strategy called tegoprubart. If this next phase works, it could become one of the clearest signs yet that functional cure strategies are finally maturing. In 2025, Sernova released Phase 1 half data that immediately got attention in the type 1 diabetes research world. Using donor islets placed inside the company's cell pouch system, 8 out of 12 patients achieved insulin independence. That's the kind of result researchers cannot ignore. Because many experimental therapies only reduce insulin needs slightly or improve blood sugar control temporarily. But these patients were actually able to stop using insulin for periods of time. And one reason researchers are paying attention to Sernova is that their approach tries to solve a problem that damaged many earlier implant strategies: keeping the transplanted cells alive. The cell pouch is implanted under the skin and designed to become vascularized, meaning blood vessels grow around the pouch and help nourish the transplanted cells naturally. That blood supply matters enormously. Without oxygen and nutrients, insulin-producing cells slowly die. And that has been one of the biggest reasons so many implant approaches struggled in the past. The major limitation: despite the promising results, the therapy relied on donor islets, and donor islets are extremely scarce. There simply are not enough donor pancreases available to treat millions of people living with type 1 diabetes. Patients also still required immunosuppressive drugs to protect the transplanted cells from immune attack. So while the results were exciting, the approach still faced two huge questions. Could it become scalable? And could the cells remain protected long-term? Exactly what the company's next phase is now trying to address. The next evolution. Sernova now plans to combine the cell pouch with stem cell-derived islets from Evotech. That could potentially solve one of the biggest problems in the entire field: cell supply. Instead of relying on organ donors, the insulin-producing cells could eventually be manufactured at much larger scale. And alongside that shift, the company also plans to use tegoprubart as part of the immune protection strategy. Now, this does not eliminate the need for immune suppression, but researchers are interested in newer approaches like tegoprubart because they may be less harmful to transplanted cells compared to some older immune suppression regimens. And this is where the story becomes bigger than just one company, because now we're seeing multiple technologies starting to converge at the same time: stem cell-derived islets, vascularized implant systems, and potentially more targeted immune therapies. For years, many functional cure strategies struggled to move beyond theory. Now, researchers are finally starting to test whether these systems can survive and function long-term in the real world. Closing, there are still major questions ahead. Can stem cell-derived islets survive long-term inside the pouch? Will tegoprubart provide enough immune protection, and can this eventually become practical on a larger scale? We don't know yet. But what makes Sernova different right now? Is this no longer just a laboratory concept? The company has already demonstrated real insulin independence in human patients. Now the next phase is about trying to evolve that success into something scalable for more people living with type 1 diabetes. And after years of failed implant approaches, that's exactly why so many researchers are watching this next phase closely.
Well, I have always been very interested in Sernova, and they have proven that their technology works. on more than a few patients. Now, they are thinking the way I have been saying for a couple of years here, that this is going to be a collaborative effort, ultimately finding the cure for type 1 diabetes. Manufactured cells instead of transplanted cells from a cadaver. Manufacture them right in the lab. That's what Evotec does. They've already proven that the cell pouch works. Now all you need is a very mild, non-toxic immunosuppression. And that's where Tegoprubar comes in. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I always like to read all of your comments, but I think this is very promising. They're going to hopefully get into trials this year, and we always will follow this one very carefully for you. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Buy us a coffee if you haven't already, and have a great day. We have another great video coming your way in just a few days.